gracious, that I will destroy the things that got you brown. In other words, my brothers and sisters, that sometimes I'll use what you're going through to let you know that I always have your back.
Yeah.
Which ought to be a warning for someone in the house of God that ever entertains the thought of trying to mess with a child of God. Because whenever you are guilty of trying to mess with a child of God, be careful, my brothers and sisters, because the tables will always turn. Some scholars have suggested that what caused the fire to not burn the three Hebrew boys was that a certain wind shift happened at the top of the fiery furnace. And at that moment, God sent a different wind that protected the men but burnt the strong men. Y'all gonna catch what I'm saying? That at the last minute, God decided to blow on the situation and protected the three Hebrew boys, but it ended up destroying the strong men. See, I'm here to tell you, my brothers and sisters, that's why you ain't got to cuss nobody out. You ain't got to get mad. You ain't got to send them a nasty email. You ain't got to text them and cuss them. No, just know that if you trust God long enough, he'll blow on some stuff. And what was meant to hurt you, I ought to have a few Bible readers in here. What you meant for evil, God will turn it around for my good. Turn to somebody beside you and say, neighbor, be careful how you treat me. Be careful what you say about me. Be careful, because God can turn the tables. And when God turns the table, guess what happens? God allows a favor to get us even though they want revenge. Here our text tells us something powerful. That increased hostility leads to ineffective revenge. That what the enemy tried to do against the three Hebrew boys, God turned it around against them. But there's something else in this passage of text. Notice, not only do we see how that hostility oftentimes leads to ineffective revenge, but also note in the text that heated conditions lead to divine liberation. Now, here in the text, you won't shout over it, but it shouted me. That the first thing that I notice in the text is that the three Hebrew boys have been bound up and tossed in the fiery furnace. The first thing that caught my attention is they survived the fall. I see it, because you rush to the loosing and you rush to the fourth one in the fire. But to me, the initial shout is on the fact that when they were tossed in with no way to brace themselves, they survived the fall.
Well, King, we put in 3. That's what I thought. We put in 3 who are bound, but now there are 4 who are loose.
Guys, what's going on?
I'm going to finish this.
Why did you want? Why are you hiding?
I'm trying to behave myself.
How come all of you are hiding?
How many know that when he gets in the fire, everything bound gets loose?
Amen. It means contact Goliath. Yeah. So you guys won't fight him because he's daring you? Yeah. What? You want some be I would you some be afraid of him. You're God.
The most
Don't go
anointed I've
outside.
ever been in my life while preaching is in the greatest battle of my life.
What will happen if anybody fights him?
I've ever been is when I'm walking
King Saul said whoever fights him get to marry his daughter. Yeah. So you all will fight. No.
When I go